Okay, we're here at Bloomington, Indiana, Monroe County Sheriff's Department. I reported assault at the TMCC Tibetan Mongolian Buddhist Cultural Center. It's Thursday, June. So what happened was earlier this morning, I had a text. Steven Stewart invited me to TMCC. It's a publicly available area, so we had a meeting there about Steven's Forest Alliance initiative, and he gave me like a quickie tour of TMCC, Tibetan Mongolian Cultural Center. So then we later went to lunch at a Thai restaurant downtown Bloomington with Dex. Conaway joined me. Here's the business card for TMCC. So what happened was I went back, and when I went there, I went through the entrance, real nice pretty entrance. So I stopped my car and went outside and took some pictures. It's a nice pretty entrance. Then I was then approached by this guy, a redneck in a muddy green Jeep, and this was the guy that assaulted me later. So he asked me, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I was here earlier today on an invite by Steven, and I just want to come back and do a more thorough tour, take some pictures." So then he had no problem, then drove off and pulled off to the left in the grass. Later on, I pulled in. I actually stopped at another place and took some pictures, and then I finally pulled into the parking lot. And that guy in the muddy green Jeep, he showed up with a lawnmower, heavy-duty lawnmower, and started cutting the lawn. Okay, so then I went to the gift shop, and that's where I met Mr. Belcher, real nice guy. He's an Indiana University grad, English major, 77, I believe, 76 graduate. So we began to hit it off. He told me he's Buddhist, and then I was asking him about all the various items in the gift shop, or the singing bowls, and we really hit it off. So I told him, yeah, I went to Eastern Tibetan Plateau for the 2009 solar eclipse. I stayed with a local Tibetan family. So then I had an interesting encounter with Tibet Buddhism. So then after that, I left the gift shop, and I was sitting outside, and there was a meeting in the library in the same building. This guy named Michael Verde had a meeting about talking with people with dementia, and I noticed two women. I asked them how to get in contact with the organizer. It turned out Michael Verde, and they both offered up information. I have their names, and I asked them for contact information. So because I was sitting in the back of the library listening to some of it, and it sounded really interesting, so I wanted to contribute and get in touch with some people, the two women and also Michael Verde, to give them some links. I have got some really good information on this whole society. So then there was this Mongolian cook that came out, and he was looking at me. And apparently one of those two women, or both of them, complained about me, and then then this Mongolian cook was checking up on me. And finally this Mongolian monk came by and said, "Well, we've got complaints about you, we want you to leave." And I told him, "Hey, look, here's the way it works. You have to tell me who's doing the complaining, the identity, what the complaint is, and then I can file a cross complaint, have a response." And the monk wouldn't do that, and said, if you don't leave, we're going to call the police. And I told him again, please, let's do it the right protocol. The whole the thing can be solved right on the spot. I mean, you just can't go around making anonymous complaints on people and get them in trouble. This is just something out of communist China. So then finally I told, and the Mongolian cook came by, this young guy, and offered me tea. And so in other words, he was accepting of me, that he accepted my my response. And so this is Then I'm going to talk to the monk, and I guess finally the monk came around and finally said the right thing. In other words, there was a misunderstanding. Apparently these two women overreacted based on the way I was dressed. And then that's just where things escalated. That redneck guy in the muddy green Jeep, he came by and he falsely claimed that when he first met me at the entrance that someone honked at him, and that he told me to go and see the manager. That's a total lie. When I first met him, I told him I just want to take pictures, and he was fine with that. So this guy was fabricating stuff just to get me into trouble. And finally, I tried to take a picture of him and the monk, and then he got real mad and grabbed me by my left forearm, and I got a picture as he was attacking me. So I have that. So then he got right in my face for the next 15 minutes, threatening to break my arm if I tried to take another picture. Okay, I'll tell you right now, straight up, this guy is out of control. He's not even an employee of TMCC. He's a volunteer. He never gave me his name so I can file a complaint to the TMCC monk. So you need to fire this guy, because this guy was not properly trained. Well, he's not even an employee, so he's not even trained. So in other words, they need to get rid of this guy. So I came down to Monroe County Sheriff, who has jurisdiction, and filed a police report. And I told the police officer the whole deal. And we have the license plate of that redneck guy in the lime green Jeep. And I have other pictures and videos. So basically, hopefully, this guy, the police officer, will go there tomorrow and do an investigation. There's surveillance video of this TMCC, so they should have the video of that guy assaulting me. Well, I already have my own picture, so that should be enough. So this thing is, Mr. Belcher came out, and I asked him about the whole thing, and he just, I guess, didn't want to get involved. So then basically this whole thing did a complete 180-degree turn. That water bottle you see in the picture, that was given to me by Mr. Belcher. I told him I was thirsty, and he went and got me a bottle of water. And he even gave me this book after I mentioned my project with Steven and Dex. They got a project. They want to preserve Indiana State Forest. It's a totally noble cause. And Mr. Belcher obviously saw this book and just did a really intelligent thing. Says, I think you should have this. He just gave it to me. So he gave me these two things as symbolic of that we were getting along. And then all of a sudden, boom, out of the blue, everything turned against me. And this redneck guy in the lime green Jeep, he fabricated a lie about me. It sounds like what police do is that they will fabricate evidence to turn it against someone. So then, anyway, here we are, and I'm leaving for Rantoul, Illinois to pick up some stuff from Robert Higgins, my friend. And tomorrow should be that the police officer go and do an investigation. So hopefully I have to go and I will prosecute this. I will press charges, and I will also sue TMCC for bad hiring. They should never get involved with volunteers. So that's the way it goes. That's how America works. You just use the whole process, called due process, there's a checks and balance. That's what the whole legal system. So hopefully everything will turn out okay. Thank you. Bye.